The title of the book is actually very fitting because I too felt the need to crash my car against a tree by the end of it. Hi, my name is Peter. This is Literary Fiction, the place where we do not have the brains for literary fiction. Welcome back to another week, another video. Today, I wasn't planning on making this video actually, but I have read a book and I want to talk about it, and I have no one to talk about it with. So, this is it. This is my rant. I don't know if it's excitement or a negative feeling that it's trying to get out of me. Probably the second. I want to talk about this book, and that book is The Crush by Freida McFadden. I have read several books by this author by now, and my advice on people that want to read these books is to not take them very seriously, because I make the mistake of taking them very seriously every time, and this is why I will compose myself, and this is why I feel so strongly about them, in a bad way, of course. So, The Crash is Freida McFadden's newest book. It came out in January, I think. And it follows a girl named Tegan who is 8 months pregnant. She has made a deal with her baby daddy, who is a famous married man, and he doesn't want anything to do with Tegan. And she has made a deal with him not to tell anyone that he's the baby daddy, and in exchange he will give her money. And in the first few chapters she is about to sign the papers, and then something happens that makes her decide not to. I will not say what that is in the spoiler free section. I will let you know once we get to the spoiler section. She does not sign the papers, and then she speaks with her brother on the phone, and he invites her to stay over for the last part of her pregnancy. So she gets in the car and drives to reach her brother's house and stay with him. But there's a snowstorm, and she ends up crashing her car against a tree, and then she finds herself at a strange couple's house where she stays there until the snowstorm is over. This is the synopsis, the best that I could give you. So, moving on now, I will be talking about spoilers, so please, if you have not read this book, leave, or if you're just here for the tea and you don't want to read this, stick with me. I got you. The book starts with Tegan. She is about to sign the papers and seal the deal with Simon, the man that he is the baby daddy. Right before she's about to sign the papers, she takes a sniff of Simon, and his perfume reminds her of that night that she got pregnant, and that she remembered that it wasn't consensual, and she had no recollection of that night because Simon had drugged her. That made her not want to sign the papers, so she left. And that was when she called her brother, and this is where the insanity started with me. Like, she called her brother, and her brother was like, "Oh, I'm about to pop a bottle of champagne. Did you sign the deal? Are we rich? Are you rich, actually?" And I was like, if I had a sister and her baby daddy did not want anything to do with her, and even if he gave her $1 million, I wouldn't be happy about it. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, we get to know eventually what is the deal about that, but don't play the game like this. Dennis, the brother? Uh, it felt strange. So she invites her to stay with him, and she doesn't care that she's pregnant, and she's like, "Yes, of course I can drive 100 miles on my own during a snowstorm. Of course she can do it. She's a strong, independent woman, and she can do it." So she gets in the car and starts driving, and then she stumbles upon a tree. Like, who planted that tree there? No, it's not Tegan's fault, it's the tree's fault. And she crashes the car against the tree, and she strains her ankle, I think. She can't move her left leg at all. Before getting buried in the snow, she sees a huge, strange, scary man coming her way, and he gets her out of the car. She's, of course, scared because the only description we have of the man in the entire book of his physical appearance is that he is very big, very scary looking. But yeah, okay. And then the man gets Tegan in his car. Tegan, of course, is worried about where the man is taking her. And they're going to his house because they apparently they live in the middle of nowhere and there are no hospitals or something that he can get her to. They reach the house and she enters, and his wife Polly, our favorite character Polly, she welcomes the woman and she's like, "Oh no, you can't sleep at the couch. It's too uncomfortable for a pregnant woman. We have turned the basement into a hospital room because Polly's mother stayed there before she died because she had dementia or something. And Polly is an ex-nurse and she took care of her." And Tegan agrees to go to the basement of that strange couple's house. Like Tegan, first of all, it's not guaranteed that you will stay there for the night. Just stay on the couch, get to know the couple a bit better, and stay at a place where you can leave if it's necessary. Second of all, you didn't even question it. Like, yes, just get me to the basement, I guess. Also, the name Tegan really fits the main character because after reading her story, I wish the story was gone from my head. So Hank, the man, carries Tegan to the basement. He leaves her on the hospital bed that Polly's mother used to sleep in. And this is how the story starts. Polly shows signs of not wanting to let Tegan go because Polly has fertility issues and she always dreamed of becoming a mother, and she sees it as an opportunity to be a mother for Tegan's baby. And I was like, Tegan, you're setting yourself up to be kidnapped, girl. Like, you did it to yourself. Polly brings Tegan her stuff, her purse and stuff, but Tegan is missing her phone, and she, in the entire book, she does not question Polly about it. Like, ask her, did you find my phone by any chance? Maybe it dropped when I entered the house or something. No, but no. Also, it was an easy solution for Freida to make it work by having the phones not work in this house, and I think this is very lazy work. She should have come up with something more clever to prevent any type of communication from happening. And then Polly starts taking care of Tegan. She brings her food, and Tegan, on the other hand, because she was scared of Hank, she sees a bruise on Polly's arm, and she thinks that Hank did it, and she thinks that Polly is a woman that is being abused by her husband, and this is why she's afraid of Hank. At first, Tegan does not question Polly's motives or why she's being kept in the basement because she keeps asking to phone someone. But Polly says that their phones are not working and the streets are not cleared from the snow yet, and Tegan just accepts it in the beginning. Like, she does not question it. If I were Tegan, I would ask, okay, bring me up so I can see it for myself. Also, Polly keeps mentioning to Tegan that Hank is at work, and Tegan never thinks to say that, oh, since he's at work, maybe he should call someone from there, like my brother, for example, who was waiting for me to arrive at his house last night, and he doesn't know what happened to me. In the entire book, she does not want to call her brother, and why is that, Tegan? Like, yes, you're kidnapped, but he's dead worried about you. Give him a call. Ask the couple to give him a call. At least ask. They wouldn't call him, but ask. And maybe this had something to do with the twist at the end, but I think had Tegan been worried about her brother even more, it would make the twist even more impactful. And then we reach a part where Tegan is over it. She just wants to leave. The 3 attempts that she makes to leave is first stab Polly's hand with a fork. Yeah, what were you thinking? Like, what was that gonna do? And then she tries to burn some magazines that she finds in the basement because she has a lighter in her purse, and she's trying to activate the fire alarm. And Polly smells the smoke, comes down, and she said, "Bitch, we don't even have fire alarm." like you're coming up with an escape plan, and the one thing that you need to confirm uh, before starting it is just check if there is a fire alarm, and there isn't, and you still do it. And then she takes a syringe with a drug, something that Polly used on her mother, and she threatens Polly with a syringe, but she's not strong enough, and at the last moment she backs out. Um, and one thing that I had in my mind is like, yes, your foot is hurting and you can't walk, but you have been kidnapped. Like, muster all the strength that you have and just get yourself off the bed and climb the stairs. If even if it takes you all night, just do it. Make an attempt. She did not make any attempts to escape. She only abused Polly. Like, yes, she was the kidnapper, but still try to escape on your own. And don't get me started on the dialogue that she had with her baby. Like, it was so cringy for me. She called her baby tuna, like the fish, because it's cute. I don't know. And they had conversations like, "Oh, mommy, I believe in you. Oh, mommy, yes, you will leave this place and we will be happy." It was so cringe. I don't know. I will never be pregnant, but I don't know if pregnant people experience this, if they're talking to their babies through their fetuses. It wasn't good. Also, Hank never questions, in the beginning at least, Polly of why she's still keeping Tegan in the basement. Polly says to him that she's happy, she's afraid of hospitals, she doesn't want to go. And Hank is, okay. So, yes, of course, a strange woman will stay in our basement without having any communication with her family, who must be worried. And when he finds out that she is there, without wanting to, he is about to call 911, but Polly threatens him that she will call the police on him about a tax fraud that she did on his behalf without him knowing, and he will put him back to jail because he was there for 2 months in the past and he hated it. Yes, of course your wife is gonna threaten you to keep the kidnapped girl in the basement of your house. Who doesn't do it? Like, Hank, get over it. He gives her 3 days to convince Tegan to give them her baby, I guess. And she's not convinced. Spoiler alert, she's not convinced. The baby will not go to Polly and Hank. And because Polly is mad, she just decides to take matters into her own hands, and she takes a tool from Hank's shed, and she's about to kill Tegan and take out the baby and keep it. But at the last minute, she decides not to. And one more thing, your wife is threatening you to call the police because of tax fraud. Do you think that after you take the baby, if that plan works, police won't look for you? Like, the baby just appears in your house and everything will be okay? Like, what was the plan really, Polly and Hank? One thing that I think worked for Freida in this book is how she presented Polly, her train of thoughts, how she always blamed Tegan about not being a good mother, about not thinking of her baby and the baby's well-being, and how she created a different narrative in her head that she was doing that baby a favor. And I think the craziness of Polly really worked in this book, and they justified her actions. Coming closer to the end, Polly had gone to the pharmacist because she wanted to buy some medicine for Tegan before she goes into labor. And while she's out of the house, Hank goes to the basement, picks up Tegan, and drives her to the hospital. And Polly is mad. She threatens Hank again that she's going to unalive herself, and there's a whole altercation there. And then we go back to the hospital where Dennis, the brother, is called to to go see his sister, and they reunite. Tegan does not tell anything about what happened to her, and even the story of Simon and how she got pregnant. And she spends the night there, and during the afternoon or the night, Polly, who is an ex-nurse, and she's an ex-nurse because of, as Freida McFadden stated, because of the incident. I hate it when authors do it. Like, just say what happened. Don't name it the incident. And she goes to the hospital and she wants to kill Tegan and take the baby, but she sees none other than Dennis, the brother, trying to inject something in Tegan's IV. Plot twist: the bad guy is the brother. Actually, everyone is a bad guy, including Tegan. And she stops him and she calls for help, and they stop Dennis from killing his sister, who, it turns out, Dennis had an agreement with Simon to kill his sister since she didn't sign the papers to shut up about the baby. And also, her brother had a grudge against his sister because he was very into sports when he was younger. And they had a car accident, and she was driving, and he got injured, and that prevented him from pursuing sports. I don't know. And he held a grudge strong enough to kill his sister. What about that? And then Polly saves her. This was very contradicting to me. Like, she was crazy, but it wasn't built up in a way that I could accept that she would save Tegan in the end. And finally, she accepted that she and Hank are a family already. Also, I failed to mention about the neighbor who is neglecting his daughter, and the daughter always keeps coming to Polly to eat or bathe. That neighbor ends up unalived. At the end, Polly and Hank take custody of the girl. Like, she's crazy. Don't give the woman a child. That was, I don't know if that was meant to be a moment of, oh, finally Polly has a family. No, it didn't work. And yes, that was my rant about The Crash by Freida McFadden. Will I keep reading more Freida McFadden books? Of course I will. I will be hate reading them from now on, since most of them were not very much to my liking. I only liked Never Lie by Freida McFadden and The Housemaid. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, and I did not give it 1 star just because The Locked Door deserves 1 star, and it wasn't as bad as that book. These were my thoughts. If you guys reached this part of the video, let me know which is your least favorite Freida McFadden book. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel so you can get notified about when I post new videos. And I will see you next Friday with another video. Thank you. Bye.